I remember the first study abroad trip that I led about 10 years ago was to the dumps of southern Mexico. And it was hot, it was hard work, breaking cinder block and building a home for this grandmother who was one of several families who lived and worked in this Mexican dump selling recyclables to the Mexican mafia. It was my first trip. Before we went down, we were all excited. We thought, man, we're going to change the world. We're going to make a difference, you know. We got down there, and the corruption was so widespread. The poverty, the issues are so huge. We just thought, whoa, we're not going to make a difference in anything until, you know, the whole system kind of changes itself, which is how that really is supposed to be anyways. And for that one grandmother, yes, we made a difference. We built a home, much better than the 3 piles of trash and a tarp that she was living under, like the rest of the families. But what I noticed was, rather than changing the world, we changed us. That sounds like one of those educator type sayings, but it's true. I read the students' journals and would watch as their bellies might get a little sick and their perceptions changed. But by the end, they had become strong. They had become committed. Half of them, I think, went on to grad school. It's a huge experience. It's like a year's worth of experience stateside on steroids, all condensed into like a 1 or 2 week period. So we shear away so many levels of familiarity. Language is gone, especially in Romania. Who knows Romanian, right? If you know Spanish, it helps, but it's not a must. We shear away your language, your food familiarity. The weather is different. Other comforts, 5, 6, 7 layers of familiarity until it's just you. And that might sound silly until you try it. And that's the thing, is it became about us. Every trip I lead, about half the group has never been outside the U.S. In fact, there's always at least one who's never been on a plane and one who's never been out of the state of Wisconsin. This is really important to get this kind of experience in today's career market. Even hugely helps students become viable for positions. I had one student wrote me a little note, and she says, Dr. Wall, I didn't get the job I applied for. They gave me a better one, specifically based on the experience I had in Romania. I was like, awesome. That is so great. It changed her. It made her into a more responsible, aware, capable kind of person. When those job descriptions say, can you work with diverse populations and challenging circumstances? I'm like, oh yes, she can. Been there, done that. 16 hours a day, surrounded by special needs children in Romania. So it is about us, but it's also about them. And I'll tell you, the thing about the Romania trip, it just dawned on me. I'd led other trips to Nicaragua, to Lakota Reservation stateside. My colleague has led trips to China. But it just dawned on me, this last trip to Romania, I think everybody cracked at some point. Even Madison. But I'm going to let her tell you about soggy Cheerios and fish. It's not the soggy Cheerios and fish, by the way. It's just the stress kind of builds up, and you and your brain finally kind of coming to grips with how to reconcile it all. Romania is awesome. It's a fantastic place to go. These children, there's about 24 of them. Everything from about 3-4 years old on up to 18. Everything from completely bedridden to pretty fully functional. But these children it's just the way it is. There's not enough staff, there's not enough money. They get to go on these limbares, we call them, a walk downtown, once, twice a year. When we come, and there's a group from Spain that comes, and that's it. And then they're in the compound. Not because people are cruel, but because you're doing the best you can with like 4 or 5 nurses, and with special needs like that, you can't be dividing them all up like that. They are excited when we come. And so I have to actually then back up and say, you know what? Yeah, these trips, they make a difference in the lives of these children, in the lives of these people, and they make a difference in you. Lastly, I just want to make a comment about Madison. And I'm not blowing smoke or anything. She's really, really competent. In fact, I kind of got irritated when she said, I don't remember how far in her program she said she was, but dang it, I was like, what? I was hoping you were like a senior or something, maybe you could start a company doing this or something, And yet, to her credit, she's not waiting. She's not waiting. My mantra has always been, show up and good things can happen. Don't show up, you won't even know what happened. Just show up. Madison showed up in a big way. She's super responsible, very capable. She became familiar with the Romanian healthcare system. Not because she needed it, but she went with me to take a couple other folks there. I was way, way impressed. So impressed with her. So I commend her to you. Yes, she did break a little bit over, the soggy Cheerios, but that's good because she's been there and she's done that. She knows what it's like, and she can help people, not just navigate, from the airport to your hotel and things like that, but also the emotional and psychological, mental challenges you have to kind of help make sense out of things and to let you know it's okay to take a break. So towards that end, I wanted to commend to you not just this trip, but Madison, Maine. I cannot think of anyone better to take a group over, to have a great experience themselves. Challenging? Absolutely. But to make a difference? You bet. Not just for you, but for these 22, 3, 4 children who just love to have their own personal people for a week to get to go on a walk with and hang out with. Thank you for considering this trip.